The term Heruka has been discussed already. It relates to different types of deities depending on whether you're referring to the new schools of Tantric Buddhism that came to the Himalayas and Tibetan regions, or whether you're talking about the Nyingma tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. So Heruka has different meanings. Now, when it relates to specific figures, because Heruka usually within the Sarma traditions refers to Hevajra, Chakrasambhara, Guhya Samaja, Mahamaya, Buddhakapala, Vajrabhairava, these major tantric deities. So with Hevajra we do have some complication, and we have really four study topics. We have to consider posture, hand attributes, some miscellaneous characteristics, and then what is underfoot. Now, as you'll remember, Heruka in the new traditions, the Sakya, Kagyu, Gelug traditions, refers to a one-faced, two-armed male deity with or without a consort. Then generally without a consort, it's just Heruka, and if it's with a consort, then it can be referred to as Sahaja Heruka. But these terms are not always, the Sahaja is not always used. Now, with the deity Hevajra, forms of Heruka, painting or sculpture, there are far more images in sculpture than painting. And a lot of this sculpture is early, and some of it is from India, or it's early Himalayan and early Tibetan. And what we get is variations in posture. That is the first thing that really looks different. We can have the right leg down, the left leg down, with the alternate legs raised up in a dancing posture, or we can have the two legs just placed on the ground, on the lotus seat. Now, properly, according to the text, he should be, Hevajra in Heruka form, should be standing on the right leg. But again, we get variations. Now, in terms of hand attributes, this also is a bit baffling, because we can have Hevajra holding in the upraised right hand a vajra scepter and then a skullcup in the left hand, or both hands can be holding a skullcup and crossed at the heart. Third, we have miscellaneous characteristics such as the katvanga staff. When he's in solitary form, also called Ekavira Heruka Hevajra, in the solitary form, then he usually has a katvanga staff resting against the left shoulder. And the katvanga staff actually represents the consort, the missing consort. But with some Heruka forms, he can actually have a consort, and then there is no katvanga. We have one example of Hevajra Heruka where he's not holding anything in the left hand. He's actually displaying a wrathful gesture or a pointed finger gesture. Then underfoot, what we find is usually just a single figure, and from the text it's described as a corpse. And when I say text, I mean the Hevajra root tantra. So underfoot is usually just a single figure, but if the 2 feet are both planted on the lotus seat, then usually there are then 2 figures, one under each foot. And then with some figures, we have found that there are 4 figures under, which are the gods Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Indra, which you find with the 8-faced, 16-armed Hevajra, typically. So we have this variation. So it's really interesting. It's curious. It appears to be regional differences and differences in the way Hevajra is taught orally over the past 1,000 to 1,300 years, and different regions. So a little bit complicated, but we don't have that much art. So really the difficulty with understanding the appearance and the identifying the Heruka Hevajra is just in a confusion with the Chakrasambhara forms or Mahamaya or Buddha Kapala. Sometimes you can confuse the Heruka Hevajra actually for Vajra Nairatmya. And then you have to look at differences between the depiction as a male or a female deity to make a determination. So we'll leave it there. You can press like, you can follow, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon, and you can also make a donation directly on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.